very isolating, and you could be just sitting at your desk in your kitchen, and it can be quite isolating and feel a bit lonely. So in the evenings when the kids went to bed, I had no social life. So I started going on Twitter and I started talking to people. And I just started talking back to people who engaged with me and said, oh, the first period gift box, great idea, blah, blah, blah. And I started connecting with moms. And then I started connecting with lone fathers, because lone fathers were another target market that I hadn't thought of, you know, and then big sisters and godparents and aunts, and it went on and on. So I was learning as I went. I had no business experience. But I started connecting with these people and I just started talking to them. I didn't know I was building relationships. I didn't know that. I thought I was just talking to people and chatting and helping people. You know, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So I saw these relationships being built, and then they were bringing them offline. So that's really how I got so popular on Twitter, was because I started sharing my knowledge, assisting others, and kindness.
Hello, everyone, live viewers and replay viewers. Welcome to Powerhouse Women series included here on HABS. Hope everyone is doing well. The Powerhouse Women are women who excel in their field. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Episode 5. Today, I present to you Powerhouse Women in Social Media. In a few moments, I will be bringing in Miss Samantha Kelly.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello from Ireland. Hello from Ireland.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for joining, and it's such a pleasure to have you. Oh my goodness! Ever since I have made a connection with you on Twitter, it has been, learning a lot from you. And oh, by the way, viewers, just to give you a little story, I have met Samantha through Twitter and Twitter Spaces. So right away, I absolutely gravitated to her voice and personality. And I knew then and there that she was a powerhouse woman. And just really quick before we start, let me just go through the chat here and see who we have. Hello, Heavenly Jew. Good to see you. Matt, thank you so much for being here. And all right. Okay, here we go. So, Twitter, if you could please tell us your story.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, everybody. Thanks for having me here. This is a new experience for me, by the way, and thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Really appreciate it. My story is I started a business about 10 years ago, and I was a lone parent on social welfare. I didn't have any money or anything, but my dad had passed away. My marriage had broken up. My daughter was about to start mainstream school, and I was hitting 40. So I was like, what do I do now? I just felt like I knew there was something I wanted to do, but I didn't know what. So I was standing in the supermarket aisle, and I got this business idea. I think I got it from up above from my dad, but it was a first period gift box for girls. So it was a bit of a taboo. So all the guys are like, what? Did she just say period? So what happened was that was my first business, and I had to learn how to market, how to run a business and stuff like that. So I ended up on TV, on radio, talking about it because it was such a taboo topic. Eventually, though, I sold my first startup, and then I started using social media in particular to market the business, and I got really, really good on it, especially Twitter. So it was a talent I didn't know I had, and now I am the tweeting goddess, and I've 59,000 followers, but I have a very engaged network, and I'm also the CEO of the Women's Inspire Network, and I've also written a book about Twitter, and it's just changed my whole life. So really, it was lovely that we met on Twitter Spaces. but for me, Twitter has changed my life so much and the lives of people I know and I've helped along the way. And I think, especially through this pandemic, I've met some really nice people like yourself, Tim, and it's so possible to make build relationships online, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I think through the pandemic we've seen that. So really, that's a really fast version of my story. So that was it, really.
And here are the profile picture of Samantha on her Twitter. Hello, Carrie Long. Good to see you here.
Hi, Carrie.
And Chris, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. So that is your book, and thank you so much again for sending me a copy.
You're welcome.
Here's on my nightstand, and and it is one of those things like, okay, highlight, put a little post it, just reminders for myself, especially, and the things that I hope to pass on as your legacy on Twitter, to other people within the social network.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, Kerry and Chris and Matt. And, it's and Heavenly Do. It's so important, and people always ask me about Twitter, and you're saying about Twitter tips, but really it's about engagement. It's all about people, and it's all about acknowledging people, and not ignoring anybody, and adding value. That's really what it's actually about. Twitter
Mm,
and social media in particular. But for you and I, even to build it, like, this is proof, isn't it? This is actually proof that Twitter works.
yes, yes, yes.
We built a relationship, we connected, we took it offline. So the important thing is that when you are on Twitter, take your relationship to the next level, which would be a DM, email, video call, and voila, you're on a podcast. You know?
Yes, speaking of podcasts and Twitter Spaces, actually, you do host several of them during the day. Is that correct?
I don't know. I just decide when I'm going to go live. I'm mad, right? Because sometimes I could have a really busy day and I go, do you know what? I just want to talk and just relax. And sometimes I just go into Twitter Spaces in the evening, so it's nighttime for me. So and if I see someone I like, and I might just pop in if I'm just waiting to make my lunch or something. But I've no set times. No, not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet, not yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing that I would love to elaborate on is the engagement. And as I was a periscoper live streamer, and the amount of time that it took actually for me to
Mm,
engage, go to people's broadcasts, was a lot more than me broadcasting myself and preparing for the broadcast.
mm,
So I have I think I have a 60-40 ratio uh, in terms of, like, okay, 60-40, where I go to people, go in, hop in, and engage and meet. Uh, do you agree that's almost the same type of formula
mhm.
for in general?
Yeah, look, I do tweet a lot, but I get away with it because I have a lot of followers and different time zones are following me, but I would definitely say that a lot of my engagement is it takes priority is I go to my Twitter lists, I go to the people that I want to nurture those relationships. So I spend time at it. Now I'm not on it all day. I'm on it for my clients and stuff, but for my Twitter, it's actually not about me at all. It's actually about my followers.
Mm, gotcha. And like, how many countries do you actually have on your list of people that you engage with?
Gosh, oh, a lot.
It's a
From Iceland to India to Australia to New Zealand. And it's
Wow.
funny, I pick them up as I go. I remember I was speaking in New Zealand at a social media event, and I was flying, and the the Ireland consulate in Hong Kong asked would I stop on the way. and speak there. So I did. So I ended up picking up followers from Hong Kong to New Zealand to Australia. So I just tell everyone I meet that I'm on Twitter. It's so funny. It's just my whole life really at the moment. But it's finding that balance is like everybody else, that, it's changed my life, and it's actually turned me into a successful businesswoman. But it's only because of those relationships that I've built. Um, People buy from people, and I like to show what it's like really being a small business owner, what it's really like trying to start a business with no money and trying to get out there with no experience, and telling my story and bringing my followers on a journey. But it's also about, my daughters and my husband and my dogs and my cat. And, I like to show behind the scenes, and I like to kind of help others. I want to be the woman that I wanted to meet when I started my business. So I want to be that person that people feel they can ask me questions. And I'm like that anyway, Tim. I do help, and I like to help others, and I feel it's important for me to be able to give back in some way from and share my experience and my knowledge. But at the same time, I'm a businesswoman, and I have two businesses. I have Tweeting Goddess and I have Women's Inspire Network, and I needed that connection myself. I was lonely myself, sitting at home, working from home, and I needed that water cooler moment. I needed that to speak to other women who were going through the same stuff as me. So, clients not paying on time, terms and conditions, how to do a proper live stream, all of these things that we have to learn. Um, how to do a webinar, how to create an event and get people to your event. And I was really good at that stuff, but I'm not good at other stuff like accounts or, you know, spreadsheets. Don't give me a spreadsheet. I just like I'm allergic or something. I don't know what it is. But it's like so I needed to surround myself with people who were good at the stuff that I wasn't good at. And that's why I created the Women's Inspire Network. And people thought I was crazy. They were like, why? There's so many women's networks. But mine was online only,
Mhm.
and there was no, we would meet up once a year at a big conference. And what happened was I saw the magic that would happen there. It's like Brian Fanza would say, it was hugs, not handshakes. Because at that stage, by the time we met, we already knew each other, really. So it'd be like me and you meeting in real life. It would be hugs. It wouldn't be handshakes.
Correct.
So it's like, I think it'd be hugs with you anyway, regardless, wouldn't it? But it's like,
Yay.
it's like, it's so funny though, it's like, it's really important that I needed that community as much as my community needed me.
Mhm. Thank you. Sorry, real quick. Drew, thank you for being here.
Hi,
Joe,
Drew.
Carrie, thank you so much for the Super Heart Award.
Ah,
And once again, Chris, thank you. And I know, Matt, you are present in Heavenly Dew. Thank you so much. I am I actually would love to get some Twitter advice quotes from you,
okay.
if possible. Really quick, I just wanted to show this on screen. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And if you could give us a little bit, you know, for us to really digest this quote.
Okay. Well, when I started my business, I live in a small town here in the southeast of Ireland, Wexford, and I'm in a little village called Rosslare Harbour. And I knew that once I had Wi-Fi, I could reach a global audience. I also knew that, when I started my Women's Inspire Network, there were people saying, like, sure, there's so many networks out there, but I knew I could make mine different because I knew the secret. Because I found it myself when I went to networks. I found, well, I'm not getting any value here. So once you give value, people are willing to pay a subscription. It's 20 a month, like. So I knew that I could, if I was giving value, people would be willing to pay for that value, but I had to give the value. So I knew that even though people were saying, well, there's so many networks and all, I knew that mine would be different because I knew the unique selling point was me. The leader was me. That I know what these women needed because I needed those things myself. I needed to learn about social media. I needed to learn about all of the business plan, how to do a business plan. I needed to learn how to do a sale. Even something as simple as how to do a sale and how to follow up and all of that stuff. And so once you give value, people are happy to pay. if they're going to get useful introductions as well. And that's something I do a lot of as well. I do, as you know, I do useful introductions as well that will help people. So, that was really, yeah. So even the small minds that said, don't be silly. I did it anyway. Actually, there's a great quote actually that reminds me of Katie from Try Lately. I must actually introduce you to her. She has this quote. Oh, you're doing it wrong. What does it say? Everybody said you're doing it wrong, and she said, "Yeah, but it's working." So there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
All right. So right now, I would love to take us to a mini commercial break, and we will be back.
Welcome everybody. That's just to say hello and wake you all up. And welcome everybody. I am so happy to see you all here today. Tour America and Aer Lingus are our headline sponsors, and we have some lovely surprises for you. But that's why I created Women Inspire, and that's why we started the hashtag. So Twitter is where we started. Today is all about getting together, supporting each other. Let's all leave our egos at the door, shall we?
Get yourself tweeting because honestly, it's worth the prizes. The Ellingness is giving away a prize to.
Wow, it's a lot. And how many of you have found it easy? No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I am here with the lovely Samantha Kelly.
Hi.
Hi there. Yeah, thank you. So, I would love to hear now about your Women's Inspire Network story.
Actually, it was very funny watching that because we only do one conference every year. And as you can see, we always get a full house. Um, but, obviously with the pandemic, we didn't have one this year. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that someday. But yeah, I just started it because I felt lonely myself and I wanted to share knowledge and I wanted to meet other people just like me. And it's just gone from strength to strength. We've over 450 members from all over the world. You see, you don't have to be just in Ireland. You can be from anywhere in the world. We do weekly webinars. We do interview opportunities. We do media opportunities. We have a huge following on Twitter and Instagram and my Twitter as well. You see, you're getting me as well. And we retweet all our members. So if they tag us, we retweet them, which is really nice because you can't do this alone. You can't start a business on your own. You do need support. I don't care how strong you are. It's nice to have someone that you can just even bounce ideas off or just sit and have a cup of tea with and learn from. And things like that. I just feel that it's been really a pleasure watching my members shine as well and their stars starting to rise. It's really nice.
I would love to know, on the top of your head, the businesses that the ranges and the diversity of businesses the women have. I saw, several are lawyers. Uh, am I right? Did I see also a dancer, a ballet
Yeah.
dancer as well?
We have actually, she owns a dance shop,
Dance
Jane.
shop.
Yes,
Okay.
and she teaches about point shoes or something. I don't know. You'll have to interview her and find out more about that. But yeah, we have tourism, hospitality, accountants, service, social media, marketing,
Hmm.
florists, makeup artists, hairdressers, beauty, um, gym, health, wellness, yoga. Oh, everything you can think of, solicitors, everything really that you could think of, graphic designers. Like, so it doesn't matter what, like insurance. So it doesn't matter what industry or what we need as business owners,
Hmm.
they're in the network, or they'll know someone in the network. I mean, all of my services, I've hired women in the network to do them. So yeah, all kinds of businesses, every kind of business, artists, creatives, you know, um, uh, fashion, so many. Yeah, it's
Mm.
great.
And of course, it's such a, every time there's an update, a new thing comes within the social platform and everyone has to adjust. And r- reconnect, is that the word for it? Like, for example, with Twitter Spaces, now, everyone has this opportunity to speak to each other, to listen to each
Mm,
other, because not everyone actually wanted to go live and put themselves on camera, that type of thing. They might have stayed on the chat too, but if you, like, in terms again of Twitter Spaces, like the uh, I'm sure that you have taught your network on how to uh, do their own space. Is that right? Also,
yeah, well, actually, that's funny because I am actually going to be doing a webinar on that next week. But this is the thing. I can teach people so we can keep up to date, give them the latest technology so that they actually can be ahead of their competitors. And that's what's really good because we would have our finger on the pulse. And also, if you message our network, we actually respond. How about that? Within 6 hours, which is really nice because no one wants to be ignored. But yeah, it's really important that we a lot of businesses had to pivot during the pandemic. Like, for example, Sonia, she has a music school, Mezzo Music Academy, and she had a school that taught the violin and all of the classical music and stuff, and they
ooh,
pivoted their lessons online. So now my daughter, who couldn't go to her school in Dublin, is now doing her violin lessons with Mezzo Music Academy because they're online teaching them. And that's the power. She can actually have a global audience now. She can have students from all over the world, not just students in that city where she is. And that's the
wow.
beauty of it. And we do yoga teacher as well who pivoted. She used to go down to the local hall, the community center down the road in the little
Hmm.
village, and she would
Hmm.
do her yoga classes. And now she has people from New York tuning in for her yoga. And this is
Really?
the lovely, yes, yes. This is the
Ah,
beauty of, you know, being a part of a network that is social media savvy and is savvy and their fingers on the pulse with what the technology is that's out there. So,
wow, wow. Um, so I would, at this point, I would like to. I promised a contest,
yes,
and I would like to get names for the viewers right now. If you could put in your name, well, let's put WIN and your first and last name, and I will put your name onto the. I'll write your name and I'll put it on my glass jar.
yes.
And with that, could you let us know the goodie that is
Yeah.
attached?
Well, first of all, it has to be a girl.
It
Okay.
has
But
to be
if
a girl.
if if it's a boy that wants to win, so if it's a boy, they will win a copy of my book. If it's
Okay.
a girl, you will win a year's membership to Women's Inspire Network. So how about that for a prize? So if you want to use the hashtag Women's Inspire or hashtag Twitter Magic,
Mm-hmm.
if you're on Twitter or whatever, but definitely comment with your first and last name. We'll throw
Mm-hmm.
you into the hat. And if it's a guy's name that comes out, we'll give them, and maybe they might have a wife who wants the Women's Inspire Network membership or a partner, so there you go. You never know. All
Gotcha.
right.
You know what I was just thinking right now also. Hello, Raymond. Thank you so much for being here. I was thinking, would we be able to put this on Twitter and maybe have, hmm, let's say, how many hours do you think we could have, and we could
Till
have something
midnight.
going on until midnight?
Yeah, let's do it till midnight. Let's do it. So use the hashtag Twitter Magic,
Okay.
hashtag Twitter Magic. Tag Tim in every tweet. Tag me in the tweet. Whoever has the best tweet as well, we'll give you something as well. Don't worry, we look after you.
Awesome. So I'm going to carry that post Twitter Magic into Twitter, and then we'll start our contest there.
Mm.
And okay, midnight. Okay, now I have to really pay attention again with my time zones. Midnight, my time, your time.
Your time. Your
My,
time.
okay, so midnight Eastern time. Uh, and you know what? I'm gonna look at three websites just to make sure what time that is on uh, Ireland and in European time and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you again so much.
But this
You
is
know,
great about Twitter, by the way, folks. If you're not on Twitter, you can create a competition like this. So we can create a competition. And a really good one to do, Tim, is get people to take a selfie of themselves watching the show or something like that if they're on the laptop. And then use the hashtag,
ah,
because then it's more content for you for the future. So it's more content about, oh, look, our viewers get to win prizes, So always be thinking,
oh.
thinking, thinking.
Right, right. Okay, awesome, awesome. That's right. And definitely the replay for this
Mm,
will be available right away. Okay. Thanks for that idea. That's so cool.
yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Well, I would love to get an actually a personal uh if you could give me an advice during this I know this pandemic, I have to adjust many things with the social networks and what I do going outdoor live streaming, uh, like balancing things. And it's a little tough with doing full-time work, and then because
Yeah.
this is a full-time job as it is.
Mm.
So if you could give me an advice on how to balance things out.
Do you think I have a balance or something? I do not. My God, I can't advise you on that, I'm afraid. But okay, decide what it is you really want to do and chase your dreams. Okay, everybody should be happy doing what they do. If you're not happy, do something else. There are opportunities out there. Build your network, build relationships, talk to people, surround yourself with good people. If you have a dream, chase your dream, even if it means you starting to do part time first. Build up that network, build up your community and your followers. Um, the balance thing is difficult. And I think with the pandemic, a lot of us have noticed a lot more nature, for example, maybe noticing the birds a little bit more and stuff like that. I know I do. And I know you are a wonderful photographer. But for me, it's about like, this is my last thing to do today. And then I'm going to take the rest of the evening off. And I try when my daughter comes home from school, she's 14, I try and give her that's her time, even though she doesn't want to hang out with me anymore anyway. But it's just to be there, have dinner, things like that, and just to sit around and have a chat, talk, just be there. And then in the evening when she goes to bed, that's my time then as well. And that's where I try and kind of catch up with friends, play on Twitter a little bit. But from like 9 a.m. till about 3 p.m., 4 p.m., it's work related stuff. And then the weekends I keep free. Weekends are for you to do what you love.
Gotcha. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
uh, Live viewers and replay viewers, thank you again so much. Haps team, thank you very much for tweeting this live broadcast.
Oh, thank you.
Samantha, Samantha is really have been a pleasure, and I really look forward to having many Twitter Spaces
Yeah.
segments with you.
Yeah, you too. And thank you for the opportunity. And folks, Raymond and Mosh and Hannah and Drew and Doe and everybody who tuned in, definitely, if you want to enter the competition, and don't be afraid to follow me at Tweeting Goddess. Um, there's plenty of good people on Twitter. And if you need any lessons, we have a social media boot camp coming up. So you can check out my tweets to see that as well.
And here are the socials for you. You have the website for Tweeting Goddess,
Thank
Women's
you.
Inspire Network,
Mhm.
LinkedIn, and of course, Twitter. Once again, thank you so much, Samantha, and viewers. Much, much appreciated. And everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.